you guys for coming back to Cobra TV. We've got an exciting week planned for you next week. But today we're going to be talking about Star Citizen, but we have a developer interview with a developer named Oliver who's making a 2-scale galaxy that's more like a simulator. It's going to have real life, physics and things like that, and planets are actually going to be doing the orbiting, and some planets are. He said, though, in the interview that I did with him, he said that one of the most extreme things that he found was a planet that had a 90-hour real life 90-hour day-night cycle. Then he's found some that are quite shorter than that and stuff. But we'll get into that next week. We're going to be talking about Star Citizen today. We also got a developer interview for a game called Small Land, and it's where you get shrunk down. That's going to be next week as well. But today we're going to be talking about Star Citizen. Like I keep getting off topic. I do that a lot, don't I? I do that a lot. People on Reddit say I'm long-winded. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Star Citizen. We're going to be talking about the setting, the star system Stanton, and going over some features that we're going to have in 3.0. So let's go ahead and get into that right now. Okay, so as said before, we're going to go ahead and take a look at 3.0. Now, a lot of you guys who are in the Star Citizen community know about this. Not only do you know about this, but you probably know more about it than I do. So if I at any time make a mistake, because I'm trying to get this information from Star Citizen and the wiki, and I'm learning myself as I'm going through this. So if I make a mistake, by all means, please in the comment section, correct me. So this video is more along the lines for people that are just like me, who not just jumping on board Star Citizen, but now starting to really pay attention to Star Citizen. And so let's go ahead and get into this. Star Citizen 3.0. So Star Citizen 3.0, which is the next version of Star Citizen that we're going to be getting here soon, it's the next major step forward in realizing the vision of Star Citizen's persistent universe. We're going to go over some of the major features of 3.0 and what we're going to be able to do in 3.0. Planetary landings. It says here, seamlessly land on and explore procedurally generated planets and moons in the Stanton system. Initially, players will be able to land on 3 new moons, Yela, Celen, Daymar, and Delamar. As a stretch goal, planet surfaces will include derelict ships, surface outposts, and inhabited bandit outposts. Persistent universe content. A new planetoid Delmar with the Levski landing zone stretch goal, it says in parentheses, which I think they made all of their stretch goals. Mission givers, or derelict ships, debris fields, and new moons with outposts. So I that's the part that I was unsure of whether it was going to be in 3.0 or not, because it for some reason it's saying stretch goal in parentheses, which like I said, I imagine that they reached their stretch goals. But when I go over to the map, I didn't see Delmar there on the Star Citizen map. But I know it's not supposed to be there. I know it's just going to be temporarily located in the Stanton system, and then when the full game gets released, it'll be put back in its lore correct place. Okay, so it says Item 2.0, a new backend system that allows greater interaction between the players and objects in the universe, includes fueling, refueling, controlling power supplies, radar systems, quantum drives, and seats. Also allows players to manually interact with cargo for loading and unloading. Subsumption, initial release of the Foundation Artificial Intelligence System, controls all NPCs, missions, dynamic content, and conversational logic. Cargo, implementation of commodities trading, automated cargo, buy, sell kiosks, and indirectly piracy. Also the initial subset of diffusion, a service architecture dealing with supply demand of retail products, resources, and services. Network improvements. I just watched a video where they were talking about network improvements. And it was pretty interesting videos. So the last one, I believe, that they've uploaded here, new message, or the newest one, the new message queue, physics serialization, and persistent data refractor, user interface, addition of kiosk UI, new item 2.0 multifunction displays and ship cockpits, field of view sliders, and a unified visor for seamless FPS, ship transitions, Megamap for seamless transitions in, out of the persistent universe, ship security, locking, unlocking, and generally improved cockpit experience. Character customization. Players can customize character heads, hair, eye color, and skin color. Yela is the most frigid of the Crusader moons. Those bold or careless enough to step outside without a spacesuit will be killed instantly by its freezing temperatures. If the cold doesn't kill you, then there are treacherous crevices that crisscross the planet. Cryovolcanoes have been known to erupt unexpectedly from such crevices, so be wary when flying at low altitude. Despite all its danger, there is much beauty to be found on Yela, like the underwater caves hidden beneath the moon's crust. Wow! I mean, does that not excite you? That is so cool. 3.0, guys, 3.0. Cologne, burning with volcanic activity. Cologne, or Kellen, I'm going to say Cologne, is the counter to her icy sister. Although the volcanoes have been dormant for hundreds of years, the surface is dotted with thermal geysers that erupt without notice. The largest of the geysers can destroy heavy vehicles. Highly corrosive clouds of gas are regularly released from the moon's surface, creating low visibility and damaging anything caught outside. That is so cool. Damar's surface is like a harmonic blend of Yela and Cologne. Its mountainous surface is reminiscent of Sela's volcanoes, while its craters share a warm likeness to Yela's frozen crevices. Known for its dense atmosphere, thick fog, and loose dirt sometimes makes travel difficult. Lightning storms can help illuminate the fog. Just don't get stuck by their flash. Wow. I am blown away, guys. Blown away. With the gameplay we're adding in 3.0, we're conscious that there may be some players that would love to kill you and take your ship. To help prevent this, we wanted to implement some basic security that will allow you to lock the ship so only you have the ability to pass freely through its doors. So that's good. That's good. So I feel like there's a lot of room, a lot of space that you could probably go off and muck around on your own and explore and do whatever you want to do and not be bothered by too many people. Only time's going to tell. We'll see. Rotating and orbiting planets. Interesting here. We are very keen to make the Stanton map feel more organic as a real environment, and having the planets rotate and orbit will really help with this. This will also introduce a proper day-night cycle when you're on a planet surface, which in turn opens up further gameplay possibilities. So that's really, really cool. The planets are really going to be orbiting and rotating and things. So that's really neat. Player interaction system, user experience and improvements. We want to give players the ability to move intuitively, interact with items and objects within the game, but also find ways to indicate to the player what type of interaction they would be performing. Pick up, start conversation, push button, etc. Racetracks on the planet. This is kind of cool. To give our planetary environments extra points of interest and also an excuse to drive around, to drive ground-based vehicles around at high speeds, we thought the best way to do this was to build some rudimentary racetracks on the planets that would have that would have been previously used by the research teams as a way to blow off steam and have fun. That is really cool. Okay, so the cool takeaway here is we get the entire system of Stanton, the star system Stanton. Okay, so all that seems super interesting. Let's go ahead and go over to the star map, take a look at the star map, poke around at some of the moons and some of the space stations, and read about the lore that surrounds Stanton. Okay, so the Stanton system is a corporate business park with a series of 4 massive super-Earth planets terraformed for their resources. Stanton is an anomaly, boasting a wide green zone with 4 inhabitable super-Earths. The system is, from a cosmological perspective, unusual. Strictly speaking, the star systems as purely inhabitable as Stanton simply don't exist. The combination of the proper star type and the evolution of 4 especially large, human-suitable biospheres requiring limited terraforming is so unlikely as to strongly suggest design. No one is sure exactly who settled the Stanton system. All indications are that it was discovered by a free agent trader and that word of the location and its potential riches spread slowly on the electronic grapevine. By the time the UEE noticed the system's existence, all 4 planets had populations numbering in the tens of thousands. That notice spelled their doom. A quartet of super-Earths are an extremely rare find, and the Empire quickly declared Stanton to be a case of eminent domain, citing a need to protect and extend nearby jump lanes. Without formal colonization papers on the file, the existing inhabitants had little choice. Prospectors, survivalists, and other squatters have little means to protect themselves from the might of the Bengal-class carrier. With a downed economy in the midst of a 100-year colonization drought, the UEE had few options for actually exploiting Stanton. UEE naval engineers conducted the small amount of required terraforming. A series of underfunded military outposts were established, and then Stanton sat unwatched for another generation. The decision was ultimately made to sell the system piecemeal to the highest bidder to support the construction of the synth world. Mega corporations were quietly contacted and asked to bid for their own planets. The winners are believed to have flourished trillions into the UEE economy: Microtech, Houston Dynamics, ArcCorp, and the Crusader Industries. In a remarkable lack of originality, the four worlds are now named Microtech, Hurston, ArcCorp, and Crusader. The mega corporations moved in slowly but surely, initially refusing to displace the existing inhabitants of the system. Over the years, however, the system has become fully corporatized, and the initial settlers have been often literally driven underground. The super Earths are now dotted with factories, corporate headquarters, testing ranges, mining facilities, and other company facilities. Only those working for corporations or anyone leasing their space come to live in the Stanton system, inhabiting orderly company towns. Today, Stanton is a great place to travel if you're interested in the materials produced by several of the galaxy's most successful, or if you think you can make a profit shipping these companies the goods they need to keep on working. Now let's go over the planets. Stanton 1 Hurston is home to Hurston Dynamics, an aristocratic family-run weapons manufacturing which has bled the world dry. The ecosphere of Stanton 1 has been largely destroyed, with almost all indigenous life killed by mining and manufacturing processes here. Hurston builds several lines of reliable weapons, and pilots looking for specialized guns might do well to visit here. The planet also produces a variety of munitions which are sold to other companies, and transport assistance is always well compensated. Workers are imported for year-long factory or mining contracts. Few choose to re-up. Stanton 1 is always in need for cheap labor and is a good source for traders looking to move antimatter precursors. Stanton 2 Crusader. Stanton 2 is Crusader, called CI by the natives. It is an unusual world formed midway between Telluric world and a gas giant. Crusader's small rocky core is enshrouded in an especially deep, low-density atmosphere. Initial UEE terraforming efforts failed to allow unfettered habitation of the planet itself, but rendered the atmosphere breathable at high altitudes. The planet then became home to inhabitable floating platforms. Since expanded exponentially to suit the needs of Crusader Industries, the situation is unusual but ideal for Crusader, which makes large-scale commercial transport ships which would otherwise need to be built beyond the atmosphere. Being built in open air allows the cost of these ships to be reduced by almost 40% on the back end, which is often passed along to the consumer. The company also provides quality housing for their employees, both in planet-side domes and habitats woven into the latest work, and the portion of the world available to visitors is usually considered the nicest port in the system. The shipyards themselves are eerily beautiful, with huge transport ships suspended in mid-atmosphere surrounded by lighted webbing of Crusader facilities. And then we get to ArcCorp. Stanton 3 is the most visually impressive of the worlds today. While the other planets, even polluted Hurston Dynamics, retain some indication of their natural origins, ArcCorp is now an entirely constructed world. All of the terrain has been sculpted, zoned, and built upon, leaving nothing for nature. ArcCorp builds fusion engines in bulk, using the underground resources of Stanton 3 to provide engines for hundreds of thousands of civilian spacecraft every year. Traders porting at ArcCorp are advised that in addition to deals on weapons, they can find just about anything else here. ArcCorp is absolutely indiscriminate about who they lease property to, and hundreds of other smaller companies have made their home near the world's North Polar region. Anthropologists familiar with the Xion have posited that ArcCorp is the closest human equivalent to a Xion factory world, and many have drawn the conclusion that our civilization will someday evolve along the same lines. Then we get to Stanton 4, home to Microtech Corporation, is a large and generally cold planet. The temperature is a result of an error during the UEE terraforming process, which led to an unusually dense cloud production. Microtech produces Mobi-Glass here, a now standard piece of digital assistive technology used by nearly anyone traveling off-world. Although Mobi-Glass has become ubiquitous, Microtech specializes in all forms of electronics, including those found in ship systems. This world is a good place to start looking for advanced sensor technologies which could provide an edge while dogfighting. Space on the world is leased to smaller companies, including some Microtech's competitors, probably because it allows the corporation to keep a close eye on them. Buyouts among successful Stanton 4-based startups are common. Visitors are advised to seek work and cargo news at Wally's bar. Just don't ask for Wally. Travel information for the star system says, warning. Visitors should note that while the standard United Empire of Earth penal code technically applies in the Stanton system, the UEE does not police the region. Private squadrons and hired mercenaries belonging to the inhabiting corporations enforce their own laws here. Since Stanton is highly industrialized and home to 4 mega corporations and many smaller corporations, raw materials and labor are always in demand. You can get just about anything here, from the latest Mobi-Glass device to crates full of weapons. Alright guys, it's time for the community spotlight, and I'm happy to, we've got our first Star Citizen pictures, Star Citizen screenshots to show here on the show from Carudo. Carudo? You guys and these awesome names. We're gonna say Carudo. And Corrado's got some awesome screenshots here to share that he's taken inside Star Citizen. Here's one on a space station looking out on a planet, and that is truly, truly amazing. We've also got another one where he's showing him pulling his gun out in an eerie picture. Looks like inside of a space station. I really love this picture here of him taking a shot of his ship. Then we've got another picture here. This is truly amazing. Look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Beautiful. Thank you, Kurodo. I really appreciate it, buddy. If anybody else has screenshots that they would like to send in of Star Citizen, I would love to feature your screenshots. Also, No Man's Sky screenshots as well. We can cover all the games that we cover here on Cobra TV inside the community spotlight, no matter what the topic is that we're talking about. We also have one from Tyler. Tyler's showing this here. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Wow. Wow, thank you so much, Tyler. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go over and we're going to take a look at some of the comments that you guys have been saying. The first one comes from X Matrix, and he says, good vid. I think you only shouldn't talk about Star Citizen with No Man's Sky pics on the background. Oh, yeah, that's a thing that I've been seeing comments. You see, on Cobra TV, we cover Star Citizen, we cover No Man's Sky's development, its updates, and its community. We cover Identity, and we also cover the game everywhere. Those are the 4 main staples of the channel. So yeah, you're going to see that some of those things in the back are autographed. There's also Fight Club, and there's Planet Nomads box that's back there. It has an autographed baseball cap in it from all the developers. And there's some other things in the background too. In the new video, you're gonna see a paper plate that my daughter drew a face on. Hung that up there too. But yeah, that's kind of why you're seeing the No Man's Sky stuff in the background. It's just memorabilia, from autographs from the developers and things like that. But thank you so much, X Matrix, for the comment. We also have Diego Renz. The planets in Star Citizen won't be scaled 1-to-1. Though, nor are the systems they're in. I do know that about the systems, but I'm a little confused about the planets, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. Tilrath, I followed you so hard, Cobra, when No Man's Sky was coming out. I would love to see you cover Star Citizen. FYI, the solar system and planets will only be modeled at 1/10 scale, and most systems in the verse will only take 20 to 30 minutes to cross. Though cross is a relative term, still 20 to 30 minutes at 20% of the speed of light is a big area. Yes, totally is a big area. In a few minutes, I'm going to say why I said that the planets are going to be the size of Earth. And, I see a lot of concern, a lot of people who are commenting saying that they're that was incorrect. And that might be true, but it's something that Chris Roberts said at the presentation at CitizenCon that just passed, and we're gonna go ahead and play a clip of that right now.
What you're seeing here is ArcCorp, which is essentially a full-size, Earth-size planet completely covered with man-made structures and at a real scale. So you're seeing everything to the horizon, fully covered. You can basically fly all over ArcCorp.
All right, so that's where my little bit is coming from when I kind of said that they're going to be the size of Earth, or planets could be different sizes. It could be smaller than Earth, it could be much larger than Earth, but that's where that was coming from. That's why I said that in that video. But Teal Wrath, thank you so much for the comment, dude, and so glad you're on board. You're a Cobra, buddy. Then we got Fishing with Hans, says, hey Cobra, I like the direction of the channel. Was watching some of your early No Man's Sky vids earlier today. It's exciting for me to watch your channel progress into a truly unique, interesting sci-fi game show. Keep it up, bro. Thank you so much, Fishing with Hans. Thank you so much, yeah. AKA Drifting Pirate. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Then we got Jack Feels Nerves. I like the updated format of the show, as well as the things you haven't changed. Your energy, enthusiasm, humor, all supported with great editing, and of course, an excellent voice. Looking forward to seeing your explorations into Star Citizen, which I haven't touched yet. Thanks. Keep doing what you're doing, please, bro. I will. Thank you so much for your comment, Jack. Appreciate it, dude. Luke Skytracker says, awesome video. Are you planning to cover Squadron 42 as well? There's not a ton of info out about it, but it's supposed to release sooner, being single player and all. Yes, I do. I just haven't gotten around to it, dude. We plan on it. And I love the fact that Squadron 42 is like a precursor to the Persistent Universe. I like how it's like a prequel, like what you do in Squadron 42's, it's important for the Persistent Universe. At least that's what I've heard. Ghost27 Gaming says, heck yeah, it's great to finally see you go into Star Citizen. I've been looking into this game about as long as I looked into No Man's Sky before it was released, and it's finally great to see you'll cover on it too. Thank you so much, Ghost27. I appreciate that, buddy. Then we've got Frank Split. Makes me happy seeing how passionate and enthusiastic you are about this, because I can relate. I'll tell you what, I am, man. It's hard for me to contain it in these videos. I'll tell you the truth, it really is. Thank you so much, Frankie. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I just cannot wait to get into 3.0 and get on some of these planets and some of these moons and fly my Aurora around. It's going to be exciting. We still need to get our PC situation fixed. If you'd like to help out, we do have a Patreon. If you'd like to help support us over there, it's going to do a lot of things, our Patreon. One of the things that I want to do is set up an actual off-site studio. It is really hard making content here in the house, and I want to bring on other YouTubers as well, and us make content together. So exciting things are planned for the future. So if you would like to help out, go check out our Patreon page and see what you could do. If you can't do anything, that's amazing. You're subscribing to the channel is probably the best way to help Cobra TV go to as high as we possibly can as far as producing content and becoming a voice out there in the games media. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the show. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking your time to watch this video. And you guys rock. You're all Cobras. And I will see you all in the next video. Don't forget, we've got 2 developer interviews. They're already done. I just got to get them uploaded. And we've got several other things for No Man's Sky and Identity as well. All right, that's going to do it, guys. As always, I love you, and I will see you all in the next video. Until next time.